guys, it's Emily, and today I'm here to bring you part 3 of my December wrap-up, which is going to be my last wrap-up of 2016 and my last video of 2016. So I'm going to briefly mention the last two books I read in December, and then I'm going to give you a brief wrap-up of my year, and then we're going to say goodbye until 2017. I feel like I've been making a ton of videos lately, and, Vlogmas, I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and I'm sort of behind. So after I do this video, I'm going to not film for a few weeks and get caught up on all the videos, and then I'll be back with the wrap-up in, the middle part of January, probably. So let's get into it. The first book I want to talk about is this chunker, The Annotated Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and this edition is edited by John Matteson, and I showed this in another video, but look how pretty this is. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful, and as you can see, it's humongous, and it's got, pictures, and, when there's art mentioned, it shows the art, and it shows, pictures from various editions of the book and various movies. There's another edition, and here's some more art, and it's just a very beautiful book, and there's annotations in it, and these annotations range from biographical moments from the Alcott family life to reference obscure literary references to recipes. When there's a dish mentioned, there's a recipe for it, and it's just a wide range of annotations, and it's a really fascinating book. I, of course, have read this story before, but I'd never read the annotations, and I think it's a really beautiful book and a great story. If you don't know the story, it's just about 4 sisters, Jo, Meg, Beth, and Amy, and it's based on Louisa May Alcott's life and her 3 sisters and herself, and it's just about the Mars sisters growing up and realizing that while they might not get what they dreamed of as a child, life is still very happy. It can still be very happy. And it's just a wonderful story, and I was planning to read this for Tome Topple in late November, but then I didn't get around to it, so I moved it to around Christmas time, and it was actually a really great book to read for Christmas. There's several Christmases mentioned in the book, and all of the themes, family, love, charity, faith, everything you could possibly want for a Christmas story is in this. So it's just a really beautiful book, and I really enjoyed this edition. If you don't want to pick up this edition, I would still recommend reading Little Women, because it's just such a beautiful story. So then, the final book I read in 2016, book number 100, was the Chilbury's Ladies Choir by Jennifer Ryan. This is another book that I received from Library Theme in exchange for an honest review, and I've already written my review and posted it on Library Theme and Goodreads. But just briefly, this is a historical fiction novel, and it's an epistolatory novel, which means it's made up of letters and diary entries, and it's about the small town of Chilbury, England, which is in Kent, and it's World War II, and all of the men have gone off to fight, so the town choir is in danger of being shut down. But some of the women want to keep it open, and a new woman arrives who is a conductor, and she decides to lead the women in the new choir. And so it just shows little snapshots of the lives of some of the choir members, and this book is very dramatic. I mean, there's constantly something going on. There's one drama, and then another drama, and then another drama, so it's just constant drama. There's 2 romances, one between a younger teenage couple, and then one between 2 older couples, or 2 older people, probably in their mid-50s, early 60s, and it's about the power of love during war, and it's particularly about finding your own strength during war. One of the main characters, Mrs. Tilling, she, has just been looking after her husband and her son, basically her whole life. And then her son's off to war and her husband has passed away, so she's alone. And she starts to realize, hey, I can look after myself and I can do things that I never thought I could. And so it's just a really great little story. I will say that it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. It's a bit dark at times, and it sort of reminded me of like the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society. I'm probably butchering that title, but the Guernsey book, it's the exact same sort of thing, a World War II's tale, and it's another epistolatory novel, but it's still a wonderful book, and I'm glad I finished off this book before the year ended. I was going to read it in January, but I figured why not get it done and start my year off fresh with no obligations. So yeah, this year in 2016, I read 100 books. I read 29,000 pages. I read a variety of books, ranging from The Chunker, The Annotated Little Women, and then The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which is 700 something pages, and from to A Christmas Carol, which is only like 68 pages. So it was a wide variety. My average page count per book was about 295 pages though, so I think I did a good job of reading, pretty good fair-sized books. Next year, I am not going to be setting a goal. I'm just going to be reading whatever I want, whenever I want to, because, I did feel sort of stressed in December. I had 10 books I had to get through, and I made it, with 2 days to spare, but I was kind of stressed for a little bit of it. I was kind of worried about when I finish, when I not finish. So next year, I'm just going to take a break and not set a challenge and just read whatever I want. The last 2 days of the year, I'm going to just focus on my magazines and just, catch up on those because I've been putting them aside in favor of reading my books. I plan to start 2017 with 10 Years the Night by Scott Fitzgerald. This is the only book left on my TPR that I added in 2012. Earlier in the year, I went through a purge where I took out all of the books that I had added in 2012, except for this one, because right before I did the purge, I had bought this book at a local bookstore, and so, or it was a used book sale, I should say, that the local bookstore put on. So I really want to get that read and then move on with some other books that I have on my TBR. Speaking of my TBR, I started out 2016 with 168 books on my TBR, and now I have 134, so I made a little progress, but I have to admit, I probably made more progress just because I purged a lot of them in the late in the year, so it's not like I've read all of those books. I am going to try really hard in 2017 to only read the books that I have, or library books, and not buy as many books until I catch up, because I feel like I have a lot of books. I've talked about before, I have 38 books on my shelves that I have not read, and I know for a lot of people that's not that many, but for me it is. So I am hoping to get that number down to like at least 20 books, only 20 owned unread books by the end of 2017, but we will see, because I do have work and I am finishing up my Library of Science degree, and so I am busy, but I still love to read. So yeah, I read the Chilbury's Lady Crier and the Annotated Little Women were my last 2 books of 2017. I enjoyed them both. I ended up reading 50 women authors over 46 male authors, so I'm really pleased about that. And I did have 4 books that were written by a combination of both, so I ended up finishing my goal of reading more female authors in 2016 than male authors. So that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed my videos this year, and I enjoyed making them, and I enjoyed watching all of your videos this year. And I will see you in 2017 with more books and more videos, and I hope everybody has a happy New Year's, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!